the big amazing things are happening, there's still self-doubt. Before we start today's episode, I would just like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nation. It is a privilege to be able to tell stories on this land. Always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Without further ado, welcome to Real Time with Amber Scates, a show where we talk with real creatives about their real lives in real places in real time. What does that even mean? I don't know, it just sounds good. Real time with, oh yeah, Amber Scates. Okay. Oh goodness, I am so happy to be here. Guys, this is crazy. I have been waiting for this for a very long time and I get shivers. This is my thing, guys. So this show is all about getting real with people, creatives from so many different walks of life. What I find to be so amazing is art doesn't just come from nowhere. It is informed by the artist's life. I love delving into that part, the real part, the part that actually starts it in the first place. And so throughout the segment today, we'll be doing lots of different things, including randomly pulling questions, tarot card pulls. We'll be going back through the past 3 years of their artistry and kind of looking at the journey that they've gone on from then until now. There's lots of elements of surprise. So of course, the first episode would only make sense to start with myself because, girls, we got to get to know each other, god damn it. If we haven't met before, I'm Amber Scates and I am your host. I am, in fact, a real creative and it is my real life we will be talking about. We're in a real place, which is my real bedroom. I'm a multidisciplinary creative, which pretty much means I just love to do lots of creative things all the time, all at once. If I can, the more things I can do at once, the better, because, you know, I like to be highly stimulated. That involves being a performer. So, I mean, I love live performance. So I sing, I act, I move. I love to host like this and talk to a camera. Loves a camera. I am a creative coach, which pretty much just means I talk to creatives and help them on their journey. Love to write music, you know, come from a bit of a musical theatre background and now do cabaret. I love filming this. I love creating this. This is the feeling I live for. All right, so I think it now jumps us into the next segment, which is the tarot pour. So here we have my mother's tarot cards. Bless her. It is a magical thing. So we're going to do a three card pull. It took me a long time to really get into anything spiritual, but I think when I found it a bit later in my life, it all kind of just clicked into place. And I was like, yeah, why wouldn't I just do this? It's so fun. I love how your brain kind of pieces together these ideas and like sets you up, you know? All right, let's just see what we get. Ooh, the Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, that's calling out to me. Seven of Pentacles. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, the Seven of Swords. Oh, and then we've had a drop. We've had two more drop. Sorry, this is just exciting because I pull the Queen of Wands a lot. There was one more as well. Oh, and the Ace of Pentacles. And Justice. Oh, so interesting. I love it. I'm so into it. I do it all the time and I never used to do it. Okay, so we're going to save those for a little bit later. This brings us to the next segment, which is the time traveling segment, where we'll go back by the year to the date and see where we were the past few years. For this one, we're just going to travel back the past 3 years. But first of all, it would only make sense to explain where we are right now. So today's date, the 29th of August. My days have been interesting recently. I'm in the luteal phase of my menstrual cycle. I love to overshare. And it's brought a lot of tiredness. I've been going to bed really early at the moment, which is like really random because I don't do that. But it's been quite nice because I've been able to just kind of get up. So I went to a reformer Pilates class this morning, which is so crazy. It was so good. Went for a big walk. Got home and did a lot of home things. It's really nice to be here right now and be recording this right now. I've got the place to myself. Right now is the moment. It kind of just goes to show you can trust that little voice in you. When the moment's right, the moment is right. So now let's go back in time. Where were we 1 year ago today? So on the 29th, oh, bless this. So this day, a whole year ago, I was in Sydney. We were just teching into Club de Moor in Sydney, which was the cabaret show I was doing last year. finally gotten to meet Spanky Jackson. I had this beautiful day with Kyle, one of my dearest friends. It was like the start of this really cool leg, like one of my favorite parts of that tour. It just felt like such an expansive moment in my artistry. I could really see how all the worlds in my life all kind of clicked. So we're going to go back a whole year before that, 23. Yeah, wow. I'd come out of a challenging period that year. So at this point, I was really starting to come back into myself and feeling good. It's just crazy looking back on that time. But yeah, and so then my mum came and visited. She visited me in Melbourne, and it was so special. Like this day, we went out to see Moulin Rouge, and my brother was in Melbourne at the time. I was living in my apartment. That year in particular, in 2023, was when I first released music under my own name. It was really like a big leap in kind of backing myself and believing in myself. So having mum come over at that time was really special. Okay, so then we will go to 2022. So at that point, it was my first year in Melbourne, and I had moved, and those two, Ellie and Abby, were friends from, one of them was my friend from high school and the other was my friend from uni. I just kind of leaped into this year where, you're building community and you're meeting new people and like you're trying to build your base and your surrounding. Wait. I painted this one 3 years ago today, which is so wild. That was a big time in my life and figuring out myself and who I am, just taking those leaps into the unknown. I see the power of community and your people, because I think, that time 3 years ago with my friends painting, how important those moments are in connecting with those around you. You can feel lonely as an artist, remembering that you have people around you. Like that's like the most important thing. And then last year, being in Sydney and like being with my creative family and making new connections, and it was a very beautiful connected day in all those past few years. And I just think it's so important to remember, like through all of those big, crazy, amazing moments or those low moments, like people are what really matters. Here I am now in this space connecting with myself and connecting with you and talking to you. And I think that's really cool. So now we're going to do a little game of first and last. So in this beautiful little bowl, ASMR, I've got a whole bunch of random firsts and lasts. So it could be the first time I did something or the last time I did something. And I'll just pull them out now and we'll answer a few of them and see what comes up. The last time you doubted yourself. I think this week, as I said, I've been in a bit of a low energy, and that can come with a lot of self-doubt. I think not having the energy when you want it, maybe that means I'm not enough. Maybe that means I need to do more, or I don't have the skill set, or I'm not capable. So at the moment, I've obviously, been doing some really big things in my artistry, some of the biggest things that I've kind of done yet. Even when the big, amazing things are happening, there's still self-doubt. But the truth is, it is just a moment. Because what is true is there in your heart. It goes deeper than all of that. And I think the moments that I've come back into believing in myself have been moments like this, like right now, where I've just done it anyway, or where I've connected with people around me and I've connected with my art, because that brings it right back. Because why the hell wouldn't I? So yes, the last time you doubted yourself this week. The next one is, when was the last time you felt completely in flow? Right now? I feel so in flow right now. I feel like electric. I feel electric when I make this. It feels like doing what I'm meant to be doing. I think another moment would be filming my music video. That moment was such like everything was clicking into place. I just knew, oh yeah, I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. Each little moment that happened was like, oh, this is perfect. Like that alignment feeling. I like to call myself an impulse-based artist because I always find my best work happens when I let it happen. So I think filming that was a really, really special moment. Let's do another one. What was the first time you got paid for your art? It would have to be when I was about 14, when I started my band. I was in a indie rock band in Perth. Raksha, got the tattoo here and everything. That was pretty crazy. It was a moment where it was a legitimate we want you to perform, you're going to get paid. That was really cool. Realizing that that could be a real thing. I think another time I got paid for my art was actually busking, actually performing at a music festival, the folk music festival, bless that. And people were just walking past and there'd be all these young performers busking. I was singing all these random songs, no accompaniment, just singing out loud. And oh, it's so sweet to think back on, and people, leaving money for you. And then I was able to go buy my food. But then some of the people at the food places would go, oh no, here you go. Just have a meal. Thanks for singing for us. And it was so special. It was so beautiful. It gives me shivers to think about, because that was like really realizing, oh, I had something I could offer people, and people would find that valuable enough to give their own money over and say, no, that was worth it. That's so amazing. Another one. When did you first realize this is what you wanted to do? Being a performer, my first musical I ever went to go watch, it was at the future university I'd end up going to. And I remember seeing it and just feeling like electricity in the air. Another first time I really realized this is what I wanted to do was when my mum asked me, what is it you like? My brother was doing Aussie Rules, and Mum was like, oh, what do you want to do? And I did drama at school, and I really loved that. My drama teacher, he was just so supportive and I think really saw it in me and saw the passion and, how it lit me up. And I think getting to see that I could do that further and I could go further with that, I think was so amazing, because, it was that being given that opportunity. I think it was really, really special. What was your first time doing your art form? The first time I ever performed on stage, I went to this singing school, singing on stage, and I sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That's so sweet. It was like me uncovering my voice and like uncovering that within me. And then the first time I kind of acted, I got to played this like jester. And I was actually going to stop doing it, and my grandparents actually said, no, like, you should keep going. They saw something in me. Then the first time I ever really filmed myself, I had an iPod Nano, and I used to love filming things. I just remember really loving that and capturing these moments with people who I loved, and like having sleepovers and filming those things. And now let's do the tarot card reading, which is the Justice, the Queen of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. And we pulled the Knight of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles. Oh my God, there's so many pentacles. When the Knight of Pentacles appears in a spread, it is a time for the individual to develop that dimension of the personality which is comfortably and firmly anchored in the ordinary tasks of living. I think what really hit for me in this is this quality of being able to be, I'm trying to do a bit of a reset my dopamine levels. I think that's being able to be more okay with slower moments, not feeling like I constantly need to chase, but actually I can sit back and I can take time. Obviously, I've got ADHD, if you can't tell. That does lead to a lot of, running on the adrenaline. I think learning that I can find comfortability in the everyday moments of life, and in fact those moments bring groundedness. The Seven of Pentacles was next. On a divinity level, the Seven of Pentacles augurs a time when a difficult work decision must be made, and the question arises of whether to continue to develop what one has already built or put energy into a new project. Yeah, I've had these moments, especially more recently. I think it's so funny, isn't it? Hitting a major moment or a big milestone within artistry, yet doubting yourself at the same time. I've got so many big dreams, so many big visions, but at the same time I just kind of go, yeah, but why the hell not just freaking go for it with this? I feel in a moment like this that the answer seems very clear. To keep going. And then it's the Seven of Swords. On a divinity level, the Seven of Swords heralds a time when it is necessary to use tact, diplomacy, and wit to achieve one's end. I think what comes to mind now is this feeling I've been feeling around artistry and around capitalism. And there's been a part of me, and I think a part of all of us, that kind of can go, what the hell is this? Are we all just racing for something? And I think, if we're talking shadow self right now, that's been a thing that I think has maybe made me feel cautious, but realizing that, in fact, no, I know what I stand for and I know what I believe in. I think especially in this moment in my artistry where I'm like leaping for bigger things, I don't have to give it all, but I can own my strength. The card of justice appearing in a spread implies the need for balanced thought and impartial decision making. This card can be double-edged. There are spheres of life where Athene's cool reflection is too chilly, too idealistic, and too destructive to the warmth of personal relationships. Her sword can cut the heart with general truths, which are inappropriate for particular situations. That's so important at the moment, is thinking clearly and not getting caught up in narratives or ideas, but rather thinking in the truth of the matter of what it is I'm actually doing in my day-to-day life and like how I can show up honestly for what it is I believe in and who I am. And like when I feel those feelings of doubt or whatever, actually just going, well, no, what is the truth of this? When the Queen of Wands appears in a spread, it is time for the individual to begin to develop these qualities of warmth, consistency, and loyalty, and creative sustaining of a vision. That's so important when you put Justice and the Queen of Wands next to each other, and they sit so similarly, yet one with such precision. It's the sword, yet she sits with the fire. And I think remembering the melting pot of those two qualities, showing up for the vision and being there and being loyal to it and loyal to what it is I believe and not just doubting it. The Ace of Pentacles augurs the possibility of material achievement because the raw energy of this kind of work is now available to the individual. I really feel at this point in my artistry, it is up to me to walk the walk and take the steps, and I can take the steps. I really like all of that and feeling that the energy is now here and making those decisions that I know are going to help me move forward. And then we move into Future Flash, where we look into the future and we look at where it is we want to go and what is it that we want to achieve and what is it we see, what is it we envision. And I think what it is I envision in my wildest dream, I can feel myself talking with these people who I love, who I feel inspired by, who I think are incredible, and having these genuine conversations. I can see my show, my live show, and I can see myself being on stages and singing from a place of honesty and heart. I see myself feeling empowered. I see the fire. Shining bright. I see myself owning that energy and remembering there are things I can do about it. I see myself writing music that is inspired and electric and feels magic. I see amazing costumes and I see myself connected. There you go. What a journey. Oh my gosh. That was really sweet. Getting to actually run it with you was just really special. I feel like it pulled out a lot of honesty. And that's what I love. That's what real time is all about, is having a real time. Even just getting through the tarot cards and talking about things that maybe I wouldn't necessarily talk about. I think this is the important thing, is like artistry is something that it's a never-ending journey, and there are highs and lows, and you can be in the highest of moments and still doubting yourself, and you can be in low moments and doing amazing things, and you can be in all these different moments in your life, and you're also a human at the same time. I am just this version of me, and there's plenty more to go. Trusting my actual gut, not just the voice in the head. I'm very keen for the next episode. If there's anyone that you want to see on the show, make sure to send me a message. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to reach out, share this around with people that you're excited to hear it. If you enjoyed this journey, there's plenty more of ridiculous things I've created out there. You can listen to my music. I work with creatives and artists in helping them to uncover these very things themselves. So if that sounds interesting to you, then you can check that out on my website, www.amberscates.com. Yes, she got the domain. Stay tuned for the next episodes, and thank you so much for listening and so much for watching. I am Amber Scates, and you were just watching Real Time with Amber Scates, because there's no time like right now. All right, goodbye. Ooh. Oh, that was fun.